afternoon and welcome to another edition of Mama Toro Talks. This talk comes to you from a place of utmost peace and love. So last week we spoke about the past, and we saw how the past can affect our present life and how we handle ourselves. But this week we are going to talk about how to walk past the hurt that was caused by your past. How do you move on? How do you move forward from that hurtful past? Because we've all been hurt, we've all been there. So if you've not watched that video, please make a point of watching it, because this is somehow a continuation of what we talked about last week. So moving past the hurt, is it possible? Yes, it is very possible to move past your past, if that makes sense. And it's the only way. Like there's no other way to achieve peace from within if we do not move past our heart, like past our past. But then again, the past plays such a big role in who we are right now. And most of us have lived like this for some time. So how do you even let go of those hurtful things, of the pain, of all these things that happened to you, in the past? And a lot of us say that, I might have forgotten, but I have not forgiven. And I will never, or some of us say, I will never forget. But what happens is that as long as you keep holding on to that past, it becomes like a cancer. It becomes like a tumor. It becomes like that drop of acid that keeps eating up at your soul and your inner organs. And, it becomes like a rubber stamp on your forehead. So wherever you go, you take it with you. One of the things that I thought about, one of the way that I can, clearly describe this, like I don't think I've talked about my past much here, but part of my upbringing was in the village. Yes, I moved to the village when I was about 16 years old. And if you've ever lived in the African villages, or if you've heard stories about the African villages, then you probably have heard stories of the night runners, or the witches, if that's what they're called, the night runners. And some of these night runners, they run around in the night and they cause commotion, and they rob you of your good sleep. And what I thought about, the analogy of a night runner carrying poop. Yes, they do. Some of them carry this, poop, and they walk around with the poop, and they drop it at your doorstep. They just want to cause commotion. So you wake up in the morning and you open the door. If you had somebody running around in the night last night, and there's this poop sitting outside your door. So I was just thinking about it, and I thought about this analogy of the night runner. And I thought about it as a person, and imagine yourself as a person carrying this poop all over the place. And you have it in this hand and in this hand, and your hands are full with poop. And almost like what the street boys in Kenya do, like the chokoras. So the street boys will walk around with a bag of poop in the streets of Nairobi, and they'll be like, oh, give me some money, or, I'll hit you with this. So that is what happens to you. If you're carrying your past, your painful past around, your stinking painful past, because most of it does not smell good or even sound good, and you've got it in your hands, and everywhere you go, you wake up in the morning and you're interacting with people, your children, your husband, your spouse, your family, and you've got this in your hand, this stinking poop, and everybody you come into contact with, you leave a piece of that poop in their life. Because if you're not okay on the inside, how are you going to live, how are you going to live like carbon-free footprints if you're carrying all this carbon with you? Like just like the plane that flies in the sky and emits all this carbon, that is what happens with human beings as well. So you're walking around and you've got this poop filled in your heart because of your past that is really rotten and that really hurts and that really keeps eating you up. Over the years, it's become like a sore wound, and it eats you up. So you come into contact, you have children without shedding off, these layers of of all these things that happened to you, and you keep passing it on to your children. You're probably that quarrelsome parent, and that is how this is who you've been for years. So that is what your children know, that this person who's negative. And maybe before all these bad things happened to you in your past, you were not like that. So if only there was a way that our lives was recorded in a film reel, and somebody could replay your past, and like somebody could see that innocent side of you before you were corrupted, before all these things came and messed up your life, and maybe what you could have been without all this baggage behind you, then it would be amazing to see what kind of person you'd have been. But then again, some of the things that happened to us in the past, however ugly they are, they prepare us for who we are right now. I'm not trying to justify or to say that it is right that we have gone through what we have gone through in our painful past, but some of it, you can use them to shape you into a better person. Maybe be a more cautious person, depending on whatever happened to you. Maybe see people in a different frame of light. So you can also use it for your own good. But if you're walking around with this poop, like I said, you have to put that poop down. Because all people are going to see, if you see this street boy or if you see this night runner, all you're going to see is this stink in their hand or in their hearts. That is what people see. And some of that can easily repel people. So people do not know who the real you is before all this, all these bad things happen to you. Who are you? People don't get to see that. And imagine if you have a family and your spouse or your children are not able to enjoy the real you or the authentic you without all these things. So yeah, the past can come in sheets of layers, iron sheets, like mabati, the ones that we use for building roofs. It's just sheets of layers in your heart, because as we move on with our lives, we keep on we keep on writing new experiences, and some of those experiences are not good. So imagine if all the new things, all the things that happened when you were very young, and then you've kept on piling sheets and sheets of other experiences, of things that have happened to you that are not too good. You can imagine how that's going to be. Your heart will be overloaded. So shed off layer by layer. You cannot wake up one morning and decide that, you know what, I'm going to shed my past and I'm going to be this new person, and whatever happened to me, and we're starting afresh. It's not that easy. So like we said in the last video, first you sit in your past and you face it. You admit that things happened that were not right, and then once you face it, you decide as a person that you're going to work on it, because you know that if you work on it, if you shed this baggage that is in your heart, it can only make you a better person. It can only lighten your load in life, because as a person, you have plans, you have dreams, you have aspirations, things you want to do to progress and to grow. How are you going to grow when your heart is already full of all these things, all this chaos that happened to you, all these nasty experiences? If you've not shed off that, then where is the space for all these good things that are meant to happen in your life? And the beautiful thing about the future and rewriting your legacy, your history, your biography as a person is that you have the power to write whatever you want to write about your life. It's a clean slate. Every single day, every single minute is a clean slate. So you might have been broken in the past. They might have thought that they ruined you by the things that they did to you, or the experiences that you went through, the painful experiences that you went through as a person. But you know what? The beauty is that when we start rewriting our stories, then all these happy moments and happy experiences and all these achievements, all these dreams and the positivity and the light that we bring with us into our present life or even our future aspirations have a way of slowly erasing, our painful past. So when you fill your cup, like another thing that I can think about, another analogy is that, for example, if let's take that you have this, just if you take a container and pour in a drop of ink, and then in clear water, the water will suddenly turn, dark blue. But just think about this. the more you keep filling that container with water under a running tap, the less you will see of the dark ink. So the more it fills up, the more the clearness will erase that stain what was there before. It's just like washing clothes. When you have a stain, when you wash it off with a detergent, with a strong detergent, the more you wash off the stain, the less you see of that stain. Because then, I'm thinking about the past like as a stain, as a mark in your heart. And before you know it, a time will come when you don't even associate yourself with your past. Another experience that I've learned growing up is that you can write your story. You can rewrite your story. Maybe you are in a position or in a place where people have always known you by certain behaviors or certain, characteristics, or, people define you in a particular way. Or you could be defined as maybe you're shy, or you're too harsh, or you're unapproachable. But the beauty is that life changes. Life is not static. And we get an opportunity to meet new people every day. So picture this. Every time you meet someone new in your life, it is a great opportunity for you to rewrite your story. It is a fantastic opportunity for people to get to know the new Herin. You might have known me from years back as this person or that person, but a lot has changed about me over the years. And you will be surprised when you meet the people who know me now. And you tell them about the me that was there back then. And they look at you like, do we know the same person? So that is how easy it is for you to rewrite your past and create this new person. So I just want to finish off by saying that, we can all start afresh. Every time you meet new people, every time you go into a new situation, it's an opportunity to start afresh and create this new persona. Shed off that baggage, shed off that tumor. It is not doing you any good. A painful past is like, a sore wound. It keeps oozing past because it has been festering over the years, and it's not nice anymore. It smells. What started out as unbroken, clear skin, with time, a wound forms there, and then it's not nice. If you've gone to a hospital, if you've had a septic wound, then you probably know what I'm talking about. So it does not serve anyone any good. Clean up that wound, work on it from the inside, because then again, if you clean the wound just on the surface and underneath, that wound is still festering on, you didn't do a good job of cleaning it. If you've had a burn, then you know what I'm talking about. Or if you've experienced somebody with a burn, they completely scrape off the skin that was there before, and then they leave it raw red. Then they start all over again and graft new skin, and that is exactly what you can do with your life. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel at Mama Watoto Talks for more talks like this. I wish you all the best and all the peace in the world. Asante sana. And we'll see you next time in my new video.
I wanna go
Thank you.